I was trying to get out there. I have to get up close to express how I feel and tell someone. And you see him, he's been conning the British public since this pathetic comeback of his. Listen to me right now. Let's be totally honest. David, let's be totally honest, brother. Them two guys you just fought, they're in town now. They're actually, they're either working on nightclub doors or they're putting the bins away. Them two guys you fought last two were a joke, and you're robbing everybody who pays to come in the arena. Listen, you predicted BJ was going to beat me, didn't you? You predicted he was going to beat. He got smashed, and you see you're going to get smashed too. I don't care how dangerous you think you are. We remember what happened when I was an amateur. We remember how when I was an amateur and you was fighting for the British title. Me and Pricey spanked you in the gym, and the next day you pulled out against Mark Robson. And you know what? With 10-ounce gloves on, boy, I'll put you and that pathetic haircut to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Tony Bellew versus David Haye coming March the 4th. Hey man, I'm so excited about this fight because Tony Bellew to me is honestly he's 28-2, 18 knockouts. Although he's been knocked out once in his career, but man, when I tell you his last 6 fights, this guy has been bringing it, and he ain't been fighting no scrubs. Let's go ahead and get that right. He fought BJ Flores for the WBC Cruiserweight title, and he beat him TKO, right? He fought Macaboo, right? Beat him TKO. He fought Masternak, won by unanimous decision. Know what I'm saying? Like, Tony Bellew has not been slipping at all. Even though he lost to Adonis Stevens, you know what? I say if him and Adonis Stevens was to go at it again, I put Tony on top, even though he lost that fight in TKO to Adonis Stevens. But I will put him back on top, going against this man, David Haye, who he already said he spanked him once before in the gym. And I feel like he's going to do the same thing again come March the 4th. He's going to spank your boy David Haye, who is 28-2 with 26 knockouts, and he's been knocked out before. So with David Haye and his background, like when you go through his background, I mean, really, dude won his last 3 fights, you know, TKO with pretty much some, let's say some, I say pretty okay opponents. And they're not going to be really good. I mean, the guy who he fought in Arnold Jerjai, he was 29-0. Mark DeMori was 30-1. But those aren't really good fighters. When he fought Wladimir Klitschko for the IBF and WBA and WBO titles, he lost unanimous decision. So how you lose to Klitschko? That was back in 2011. You know what I'm saying? So now David Haye is taking on Tony Bellew, and boy, when I tell y'all, I believe Tony is going to knock this man out. I believe Tony's going to win this fight by knockout. I believe I'm going to go ahead and give Tony a knockout. I say it's coming in the 8th round, 7th, 8th round. I believe Tony know how to bring that pressure. He applies great pressure. And I'm telling you, man, this man right here, and Tony Bellew he's every bit of a true champion. A lot of people may know him as Ricky Conlan that played in the movie Creed. This man is serious. He's a beast. And I'm sorry at the simple fact that I won't be able to watch this fight live because I'll be in New York watching the Keith Thurman Danny Garcia fight live on CBS PBC. I'll be in the building with my the Boxing Voice team. But man, you know I'm going to have eyes also at the same time on this Tony Bellew fight as well, because I had this one marked on the calendars, and given the fact that I'll be still here in the States going to Keith Thurman fight man, I really did want to tune in and watch this, but I will be watching this once I get back to my hotel to check out how it happened, what happened actually in this fight. I mean, I'm just as excited as a lot of the fans that are in the UK are. I'm telling you right now, the UK is bringing us tremendous boxing. We have great fighters that's over in the UK who needs to get this publicity in the United States. I was just talking to one of my friends on Facebook, one of my homies on Facebook who follows me, and he was asking me about Anthony Joshua and how and is Anthony Joshua getting any love here in the States, and I was telling him like, man, everything that's taking place right now in the States, I mean, you wish that you could get attention here in the States with those champions that are over there in the UK. Eddie Hearn is doing an amazing job with building these guys up. I mean, Tony Bellew versus David Haye, that's a great fight. Anthony Joshua versus Wladimir Klitschko is a great fight. So, who's going to win in this fight against these guys? I mean, we're going to do the tale of the tape. I mean, with Tony Bellew, man, he's 6'3". He has a reach of 74 inches. And then when we go and check on David Haye, I mean, this guy 6'3", has a reach of 78. I mean, although he has much more of a reach on Tony, but hey, when Tony gets in the inside, and what we call it in boxing is phone booth. When you get in the phone booth with Tony, Tony has shots. He hits you with those sharp uppercuts and left hooks, right hooks. He hits you with that, and he has so much power that you would think he does not have, and he ends up putting you to sleep. That's why Tony Bellew is so good, man. I'm telling you, this guy, I kid you not, I am a huge fan of Tony. And I'm not going to sit here and be biased at the simple fact of, the Bomber and me being very, in tune to what he do in boxing. But man, he has a heck of a story. I mean, he was born in Liverpool. I mean, he's an Orthodox fighter, and he brings it. A lot of people don't tune in to this guy because everybody want to talk about, well, boxing's dead. Boxing doesn't have anybody. Boxing doesn't have this. Boxing doesn't have that. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not tuned in. We have fighters today, right now, that will be able to compete and or beat the fighters of old. But nobody wants to give these guys an opportunity or a chance. And right now, I'm bringing light to my man Tony Bellew versus David Haye. This is going to be one for the ages right here. I believe this is going to be a great fight. And if Tony Bellew knocks out David Haye to me will be done. He will be done. There is nothing more that David Haye will be able to do in ranks of anything. Now, if he put up a good showing against Tony and they both end up making it to the 12th round and somebody may win, via split decision, then yeah, we may get a rematch with that, but I don't even see that happening. I see knockout. Did you not hear my man's voice, Tony, when he told him, hey, I spanked you when you were fighting for the British title? Before you fought for the British title, when he was an amateur, he spanked David Haye. That's what you guys are failing to realize. When he was an amateur, he spanked David Haye. And now, since he's been a pro and he has big fights under his belt now, he has a great career that has taken off. And I don't even believe he was at a 100% when he fought Adonis Stevens anyway. Let's just be real. Because right now, in my eyes, I believe Adonis Stevens is doing a lot of ducking and dodging. He is doing a lot of ducking and dodging. And Tony doesn't duck or dodge from anybody. And Adonis Stevenson he gets praise by everybody else, but he's not going to get that praise from me because he's getting ready. When Alida Alvarez wins this fight against Lucien Bute, which we did an interview with Elida Alvarez, and Elida Alvarez, he's going to get a shot at Adonis Stevens once he wins this fight against Bute. So this is going to be great for boxing. And also, if Adonis Stevens ends up fighting Elida Alvarez and he loses to Alvarez, man, does that not slide my boy Tony back in the mix once he beat down David Haye? Because I see it coming. I see it happening. I know it's going to happen. And man, I'm just upset at the simple fact that we won't be in the UK for this one, but we'll definitely be at Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia fight. And I'm telling you, I'm going to record this, and hopefully I get an opportunity to, depending on the times of this fight, I have to check into that to be able to watch this. Now when we also go ahead, and I want to talk a little bit about what's going to happen and take place if David Haye was to win. Because I'm not going to sit here and like just be all on Tony's side and not give David Haye a opportunity, to win this fight at all. But, if he does win, then that puts him in a great opportunity to, he'll win the title, he'll win the cruiserweight title, but I don't think, he would put himself in position to fight anybody else right then and there. That would be really good. I think he'll end up taking some smaller fights before he ends up having to defend that title. That's what I believe, because David Haye, honestly, like, he really hasn't been relevant. He really hasn't been relevant at all in my eyes, and he hasn't been relevant at all in a lot of people's eyes. And then you call yourself wanting to call out Tony Bellew, but Tony Bellew pretty much done put it out there. He will bet his whole fight purse that he will easily avoid a first round knockout by David Haye, who's sitting here talking about he's going to knock Tony out in the first round. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening at all. This is going to be a great fight. Man, make sure you guys tune in, Jeremy Sports Network. I will be bringing you guys more exclusive information on this bout with Tony Bellew versus David Haye shortly. So tune in. This is Jeremy Sports Network. I'm signing out. Peace.